Hi, my name is Michael Novello from visualpixels.com, and here I show you fast and effective Photoshop tutorials to create amazing results. Today I want to show you how you can create a spiral galaxy like this. It is not that difficult, but it takes a few steps. And for this I've created here a new file, 2800 pixels by 2800 pixels. And I'm going to copy my base layer here one time. And then I'm going to filter, render, fibers, and I'm going with a variance of 20 and a strength of 4. Click OK. Then I'm going to transform that by pressing Ctrl T, and I want to keep the aspect ratio, so I'm going to click on this little icon here and type in on the first value 200, and Photoshop is bringing in the right numbers in the second value, and I want to rotate this by 45 degrees. Then I'm going to duplicate that. At first I have to confirm the transformation. Then I'm going to duplicate that, and I transform again, Ctrl T, and this time I only want to rotate it by 90 degrees. And I want to confirm the select transformation, and then I'm going to set the top layer to soft light, and I merge these two layers together by pressing Ctrl E again. Okay, now I want to have a little bit more contrast in there, and I'm going to press Ctrl L to bring the level menu up, and I'm going to set the levels to about 70, the black part of it, and click OK. Then I'm going to filters, filter gallery, and I choose under the brush strokes, I'm choosing spatter, and the sprayer is the radius of 25 and the smoothness of 15, and click OK. Then Photoshop is working a little bit because my computer is in the background some kind of busy. I don't know why, but it happens. Now we have this spatter filter over our fibers, and now we have a little bit more of variance in there, a little bit more for the distortions, and this is our base texture. The next step is to crop the image, and this is because we have resized the texture to about 200%, and if I'm confirming now the cropping, we can see what we are really have done. We have resized that to 200%, and now the canvas or the file size is 4 times higher than before, and we don't need that, and it's affecting the next step of the filtering. So I'm going to delete the outer parts by cropping it, and I'm going to confirm the crop here, and now I have only the texture in my canvas here, and I'm going to filter because I want to create the spiral, and for this I'm going to distort 12, and I'm going with an angle of 800%, and click OK. And now I want to get rid of this outer part here, and for that I'm going to the Marquee tool, set the feather amount to 40 pixels, and then I'm going to add 2 helper lines, one for the horizontal and one for the vertical, and I place my cursor right in the center, and with the Alt and Shift key down, I'm going to drag the selection outwards to the edges of the spiral, or a little bit more in the spiral, so that I don't have any of the outside in my spiral. And let it go. And now I have my selection. Going to invert the selection by Ctrl Shift and I, and then I'm going to simply hit the delete key one time, and now we have our base spiral here, and I call this layer base. Now I'm going to make a copy of my base layer here, Ctrl J, and I hide the original layer and call this layer here outer rim. Then I'm going to the filter gallery again, filter, and I'm going with the same amounts, spatter and spray radius 25, smoothness 15, and click OK. Then I'm going to my filters, blur, Gaussian blur, and I'm going with an amount of a radius of 1 pixels, and click OK. Then I'm going again to filter, sharpen, and sharpen. Now I'm going to select color range, and I'm choosing the black background here as my sampled color, and with the fuzziness of 200 I'm clicking OK. And I'm going to change the feather amount to 2, and now we have to delete the selection, or in the selection we have to press delete 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now I'm going to deselect that, and now we have a cool looking spiral here. And now I'm going to duplicate this layer here, and I'm dragging it underneath the outer rim layer, and I call it glow. And I'm going to filter this with the Gaussian blur about 50 pixels, and click OK. And I'm going to lower the opacity here to about, let's go with 60% or so. And the outer rim I want to have at 50%, just around about 50%. Now we have to create the inner parts of the galaxy, and for this I'm going to duplicate my base layer, and I bring it up, make it visible, and I'm going to transform that to about 70%. Again, the aspect ratio should be the same for the width and the height, so I'm going to set here 70, and I'm confirm the select the transformation, and again filter gallery, spatter, spray radius 25, smoothness 15. We are always going with the same amounts, so I don't repeat this every time. And now I'm going to blur this again with the Gaussian blur, so 1 pixels, and I'm going to filter, sharpen 1 time, and now I want to get rid of a little bit of the density here, so I'm going to again to select color range, choose the blacks, fuzziness of 200, and click OK. And this time I'm going to click on delete only 2 times, and I'm going to deselect that. Now we have here it's more dense here in the middle than here in the outer rim. Then I'm going to set the blend mode of the inner galaxy. By the way, we can rename that to inner galaxy. I'm setting the blend mode to screen to lighten this up a little bit. And because a galaxy is becoming more dense while it goes into the center, I want to have the same effect, and for this I'm going to copy my inner galaxy layer 3 times. 1, I'm going to select this, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to rename that to galaxy, inner galaxy 1, inner galaxy 2, and inner galaxy 3. And for inner galaxy 1, I need now to reduce the size. I'm going to transform that, click on the aspect ratio, and I'm typing in 50%. Going to confirm that. And I lower the opacity of that to about 80%. Then on the inner galaxy 2, I'm going to transform that. I'm going with the aspect ratio again, and I want to have a size of 30%. I'm going to confirm that. And this time I want an opacity of about, let's go with about 90%. And for the inner galaxy 3, I want to have I want to have it a little bit bigger than the before, because if you look at the galaxy, the inner part is not so it's forming like an egg, and like an halo. It's going up, it's going like that. Galaxy goes like that. One moment, show you that. Goes like that. This is a side view of a galaxy, and the inner center is bigger, and that is the outer an outer ring, another outer ring. So we're going to create that by transforming that to about, let's go with aspect ratio on, and we go with 33% or so, and press enter and confirm. And now we have created the parts of the galaxy where it becomes denser and denser and denser. And I lower the opacity for this layer to about, let's go with 95 up to 97% or so. Now I want to have some highlights in there, and for this I'm going to duplicate the outer rim layer. Going to select this and press Ctrl J, and I'm going to change the blending mode to screen, and I adjust the levels a little bit by Ctrl L, and I'm going with the black. I'm going to about, let's go with 155 up to 160, something like that. And now we have some highlights in there, in the spiral arms here. finally it comes all together, and now I want to have the core here as well of the galaxy, this bright shiny core. And for this I'm going to create a new layer on the top, selecting my top layer here and create a new layer, and I'm calling it core, and I'm going to select now a brush, a really soft brush, and I'm going with a size of about 500 pixels, and I'm going to the center with the white brush, and I click a few times into the center, in my case 2 times. Then I'm going to increase the size of the brush to about 700 pixels, and again into the center, and I click 1 time, and then I'm going to resize it again to about 1000 pixels, and again in the center, and just clicking 1 time. Now we have this bright inner core here. Now I'm going to add some colors to the galaxy, and for this I'm creating a new layer here, and on this new layer I'm going to choose a gradient. I'm going to select here the gradient tool, and I want to have a gradient. Let's go with a gradient with like this, and I want to have a radial gradient. I'm going from the center to the outside here, and then I'm going to set the blend mode to overlay, and as you can see, whatever gradient you choose, you get different colors for your galaxy. If you choose that here and going to bring this in this gradient here, we get a total different galaxy here. Now I'm want to get rid of the guides here, or to clear the guides. And now I'm going to group these layers here together, except for the base and the background, and let's call it galaxy. And now I'm going to transform the whole group, and I'm going to distort it, and I'm going to bring this down, this here as well. And as you can see, now we're getting a really cool galaxy. Maybe this a little bit up here, so that it looks like that it is in space, so that you look from the side, a little bit from the side above on the galaxy. And to get a uniform color on that, you can use adjustment layer, hue and saturation, go to colorize, and choose whatever color you want. Now we can zoom in a little bit, and as you can see, if you change the color here, go with a light blue here, and maybe a little bit intense, more intense the saturation, and there we are. Now we have beautiful galaxy. It's a little bit different than this one here, and I think it's looking really cool. And that is how you can create a galaxy from scratch. Thank you for watching my videos. If you like my videos, you can subscribe to my channel right here in the middle, and my last 2 videos you can find here and here. And if you really like my videos, you can support me on patron.com. Here's the link. And thanks again, and see you next time. Bye.